This is a lecture video on the Seljuk Empire. So when we're looking at these people, we know that they are around the 10th to the 14th centuries, and they're located mostly in the Middle East. This is going to be around Persia and Iran, and they're really the empire that's blocking the Mongols from entering into Europe. They've actually also conquered a lot of what was the Byzantine Empire. From a social perspective, they were the third largest center of Islam, and you are seeing kind of a fractured political and social landscape. And a lot of their origins come from slave soldiers. Additionally, when you're looking at the Seljuk Empire, they had their rule come mostly from the caliphates, the Abbasid caliphates, and their power base was structured mostly from the sultans instead of khagans, and in their interactions on the global scale, you're going to see them really make poor political choices that lead to a number of the Crusades. The Crusades were the almost unending fights between the Christians and the Muslims in terms of who controlled the Holy Land or specific sites that were of religious importance. Additionally, as I'm catching up with the rating, you can also examine these people in terms of the fact that they are an empire and they do range through a fairly vast territory. And throughout that territory, you are going to see them go through a number of migrations. A lot of their people did just travel around, and they were just kind of constantly on the move. And this comes from their origins, which was mainly nomadic in nature. But once they did settle down towards the kind of middle and into the late parts of their power influence, you're going to see them founding universities, founding almost like the initial hospitals. Like they're not quite hospitals as we understand them, but they were the basis for hospitals. And when you think of this wave of art and influence and literature and high culture, you're really thinking of the Seljuk Empire. Additionally, when you're looking at them in terms of economics, you're going to see them really come into this this idea of racial tolerance. The idea was that you can trade and coexist with other people, and you can maintain order and stability through that kind of tolerance. Granted, they did tax the people who were not Islam, who did not follow Islam, but even still, there was kind of this this tolerance towards people in their territory who were not the same. They didn't have the same opportunities, and they weren't as valued, but they were tolerated. And on a final note, when we're looking at technology, one of the prominent people from the Seljuk Empire that had a radical effect on the world was a man named Omar Khayyam. Omar Khayyam was a mathematician, a philosopher, and he actually helped establish modern geometry. A lot of the mathematical concepts and algebraic expressions came from a lot of Arabic culture, and so Omar Khayyam really did help develop that initial push towards mathematical genius.